Hello and welcome back. This is Lauren Delsack, and I hope that you've enjoyed the first two parts of these talks and that you've had a chance to calculate your own Draconic chart. What we'll be looking at now in this talk is focusing on the Draconic Sun and the Draconic Moon. In later talks, we'll get into the Draconic Ascendant and the Midheaven and look at the synastry between the Draconic and the natal. But let's just take a look at the Draconic Sun and the Draconic Moon and how that becomes a very strong part of who we are. The best way for me to show you this would be to use the horoscopes of celebrities, since you don't know me and you don't know my friends or my family, so we have to use celebrities that all of us know well. Let's start with the horoscope of Michael Jackson. For each celebrity, I'm going to have a screen showing you their birth data so that you can calculate the chart. Also, I've put in there the natal ascendant degree so that you can verify that your calculation of the chart is accurate. Michael Jackson was born with the sun in Virgo. We're looking at the natal horoscope, and Pisces, the moon in Pisces. So here we feel that the energy is to know things, to refine and discriminate, and the moon in Pisces brings in the emotional need to identify with an ideal and to relate to the intangible and understand impressions. Insight and intuition would be great gifts. But when we bring in the Draconic horoscope, Michael Jackson then, his Draconic Sun, becomes Aquarius and his moon in Leo. I use Noel Till's description of the Sun-Moon blend in his book Synthesis and Counseling in Astrology because I want to show you that I didn't put these words together so that his Draconic chart fits him. So what we get here is we see that this opposition has the energies of intelligence and adaptability linked with this sense of emotional drama, all to be at center stage. The Leo moon brings in the performer, the artistry, the drama, the theatrics. And if this link is pushed out of balance, a king complex can take over. There can be so much fuel on the fires of innovation that they burn up logic. There is a great deal of pride, independence, and unique self-dramatization, often within one's own privately conceived world. Well, and we know that Michael Jackson created a world called Neverland Ranch, and looking at the Draconic Sun in Aquarius, Michael Jackson is a musical genius. He's a great humanitarian who founded Heal the World Foundation, the single song called Heal the World. That charity organization brought underprivileged children to his Neverland Ranch, and the foundation also sent millions of dollars around the globe to help children threatened by war and disease. So there is certainly the humanitarian side of Michael Jackson that is symbolic of his Draconic Sun in Aquarius. Another innovative genius in his own right in the area of comedy is Richard Pryor. And what I find very intriguing about Richard Pryor's natal horoscope is that there are no planets in the element of air. But when we bring in his Draconic horoscope, his sun moves into Gemini, where it should be. He was a phenomenal comedian. And we even see that in his natal horoscope, the midheaven is in the sign of Sagittarius. So certainly we bring in this, and his sun and midheaven were in the sign of Sagittarius. So we bring in the need to express his opinions and the opining in his profession. But I just love the fact that his Draconic Sun is in Gemini, which I find just so appropriate. And this Draconic Sun Gemini, Moon, Cancer blend adds an emotional impressionability to the mind and the nervous system. There is a busy nervous thrust to establish emotional values. Knowing things and communicating things effectively makes one feel emotionally significant to others. And all of that nervous energy that Richard Pryor used to display when he would be doing stand-up comedy, I mean, we can feel it. So that's a nice Draconic Sun-Moon combination that adds to his natal Sun in Sagittarius and his Moon in Capricorn. The next horoscope belongs to a giant humanitarian. No surprise we find his Draconic Moon in the sign of Aquarius, Nelson Mandela. Surely we see the caring, sensitive man with his natal Sun in Cancer, his natal Moon in Scorpio, which becomes a repeat or a theme that is echoed in the Draconic Chart as his Sun, his Draconic Sun, is in the sign of Scorpio. And this Draconic Sun-Moon blend brings in humanitarianism, which softens the vain pride of Scorpio. Doing a job well done is of paramount importance. High ideals and visionary ambitions set high goals. There is a great understanding of the suffering and combat within life. One finds a place in one's world and holds on to a goal with full strength. Nelson Mandela spent 27 years in prison on convictions for crimes that included sabotage committed while he was fighting against the struggle against apartheid. He became a symbol of freedom and equality and has devoted his life to the pursuit of democracy and nonviolence. He was quoted once as saying, "I have cherished the ideal of a democratic and free society in which all persons live together in harmony and with equal opportunities. It is an ideal which I hope to live for and to achieve, but if needs be, it is an ideal for which I am prepared to die." Bringing in the strong Scorpio theme. And isn't it interesting that we see as well from that statement the natal Sun and Draconic Sun falling into the 8th house, which has to do with death circumstances, and the statements that he made regarding democracy and freedom, with Venus, again, in both natal and Draconic, would be sitting right on top of the axes of the ascendant-descendant, but here in the Draconic falling into the sign of Libra, ruling over democracy and equality. Also the Pluto-Jupiter conjunction in the 7th in the sign of Libra. So we have a strong theme coming in from the Draconic with Libra. Next, we take a quick look at Cher. Her Draconic Sun in Pisces, her Draconic Moon in Libra, which sets up a blend of so often, very often, the energy takes on aesthetic dimensions, artistic guises, and soft ways of doing things in order to gain ego recognition. Note that Cher's natal Sun is in Taurus, her Moon in Capricorn, very smooth earth, but then we bring in the Pisces, Libra, artistic, aesthetic dimensions, and that adds to Cher's character. And to wrap up these 5 celebrities, we bring in Muhammad Ali. And Mr. Ali comes in with a Draconic Sun and Moon in the sign of Leo, which is, again, repeating the theme of the natal ascendant in the sign of Leo, but coming in with all this pride and vanity, which is so strong. This conjunction really focuses on everything that's tied to the ego importance. Ambition is forceful, dramatic, and usually successful. Retaliation is the weapon of choice when things do not go one's way. And it is really no great surprise that Muhammad Ali, his famous chant is, "I am the greatest." So I don't mean to run through this quickly, but I want to keep each of these talks under 10 minutes so that it is easy for you to listen to it. Thank you so much for being with us, and I hope you'll continue to listen.